Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Hailee Zapata, the Alliance Marketing Manager here at Promevo. And joining us is Ambika Sharma, the Gen AI Specialist at Google Cloud. How are you doing today, Ambika?
Hi, Haley. I'm doing very well. Excited to be on this call to showcase what's new and upcoming in the Gemini world and some features you can get started with today.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We have a lot of questions from our clients surrounding Gemini. So why don't you go ahead and just take it away and start our demo, and we'll do a panel with a Q&A question at the end.
Awesome. Thanks, Haley. Okay. Hello, everybody. If you haven't already heard about AI, Gen AI, I don't know what planet you're on because I think that comes up in conversation across the news multiple times in any given day. So today, as I walk you through these demos, my intention has been to anchor on areas that you may not have thought of where you could be using Gemini, but it's available for you if you have a Google search app that's downloaded on your phone or if you use Google across your organization. So my anchor is to show you those hidden tips and tricks to use Gemini tools to make your life a little bit more easier and somewhat streamlined to create a repeatability in pattern, thought set as we work in our day to day. So let's get started. Right now, I'm sharing my screen. This is what your Gmail interface would typically look like. Um, I'm going to explore this functionality right here, which is the help me write functionality. Now, I read this interesting quote, which basically said that the most common programming language today is not Python, it's not Java, it's actually English. So, friends, what we're about to do right now is actually give a prompt to the Gemini model to be able to find the most relevant information for us. So, let's get started. So when we click on that little pencil icon, it gives you the ability to actually write a prompt. As you can see, there are a couple that are populating. And let's get started with different use cases, right? So let's say that you work in HR and you want to let your team know that there is a new employee starting today. How do you do that? So let's get some ideas from Gemini. So help me write an email to my company, letting them know Brad starts today. So once you do that, just hit enter. So Gemini is working. It's magic. I wanted to let you know that Brad starts today and he will be working as a X position in Y department. Now, I didn't tell Gemini to give me that prompt, but it has autofilled some of these suggestions for me. Now, if you want to explore more functionalities beyond what you just see on your screen right now, you do have the ability to select three options. You can select the option to formalize this email that's been created by Gemini. So let's just click on that and see how it populates. So it was concise to begin with, but that's a functionality that typically works when you are, wanting to take a rather lengthy email, shorten it, and formalize a reply back. So this one we were starting off with a rather concise email, so not a whole lot that happened there. Now let's look at the counter, right? Let's look at elaborate. Our prompt wasn't that detailed enough. Our prompt was help me write an email to my company letting them know Brad starts today. So this is as elaborative in nature as it can be. Now in our prompt, if we would have said that, let them know Brad starts today, he's joining us from Michigan. He, enjoys music in his free time, then that would have added more text and context to that email itself. So what you prompt in is what you get out. And this was intentional to show you what that counter looks like. And we'll do the second demo in a second as well. Now let's talk about shorten. Now the email was short to begin with, but if you want to make it even more concise, this is what Gemini would, split out. So it would just be a TLDR of Brad starting today in X position in Y department, right? So here you hopefully get an idea of the ability to create emails, send that out in just few clicks of a button. Now, let's say you're working in marketing. So help me write an email to my customer, letting them know about my ad campaign delivery timelines. And Gemini does a quick summary of, hey, I'm writing you an email to update you on the delivery timelines of an ad campaign. The campaign's scheduled to go live on X stage. We will be running ads on the list of platforms that you could insert in there. They will be targeting certain audience, and we expect to see results from the campaign within a certain time frame. We'll keep you updated of the progress. If you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you for your business. Now, one sentence of prompt and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences of response in exchange, all happening in a matter of seconds. So let's refine this further. So let's formalize it. Now, hi became dear. So you see the difference right there. Vast majority of the email otherwise is more or less the same. And then thank you for your business became thank you for your continued support and partnership. Sincerely. And then, whoever's sending the email, their name comes out right there. So small tweaks to just formalize it further. Let's elaborate on this. This is one of the ways where you could elaborate further around what are the details of a campaign. We didn't say anything about the ad campaign, so the elaborate functionality would not work just as well, because our prompt was more around let them know about my ad campaign delivery. If I would have said ad campaigns for certain client, this response would have looked a lot different. So play around with it, but this is one of the options where you could elaborate further as well. Now let's look at shortening the email out. Our ad campaign goes live on X date with Y platforms targeting A audience. With you can expect results within a certain time frame. Contact me if you have more questions. So different styles of writing can be adjusted as well. So you can give it a prompt to talk about if there is a certain preference that you want to be optimizing towards. So this is one of the different ways that Gemini's write functionality can be used for if you are in HR or if you are in marketing as well. Let's look at the slides use case.
Oh, I'm excited for this one. I'm in slides a lot, creating decks and stuff. So this one I'm excited to see.
Perfect. So when you are in slides, definitely look out for this diamond icon right on the top next to your name. That's where the magic of Gemini sits. So if you uncollapse that view, like this is what you would normally see within slides, click on this and your own personal assistant waiting right here. So let's give Gemini a prompt. There's some that are already filled out here. So create a slide about the benefits of daily meditation. So let's see what that comes out with. So it's given you an image. It's given you the power of meditation right there. Think about the time that you would have spent. You can choose to, edit the image however you wish. But just by like a small sentence prompt to Gemini, you're able to create a slide just in a matter of seconds. Now, this can be done for award ceremonies within your organization. You're very easily able to connect sheets to slides as well and say, hey, here is a list of top performing salespeople in my organization. Create a slide to celebrate their wins, and then create a slide that can be presented at my all hands. So those are simple use cases that you can use almost every day. If you are in HR and you want to put together a list of employees that are having their birthday in a certain month, that could be put together as well in a matter of seconds. If you work in marketing and you want to work on quick brief to your customer, talking to them about the results of an ad campaign. So you've got the results in a spreadsheet, but you want it to be presented in slides as a final output. Those connections can be made between sheets and slides as well to be able to curate that information in a much more digestible way. Now, some of our customers also use Looker as a dashboard front face so that they're able to create a more streamlined and customized workflow talking to different lines of business. They make data connections between their BigQuery databases to make sure that they're getting the most current information. And once a Looker dashboard is created, it gets updated in real time as well. So there's that same Gemini functionality within Looker that's available today as well. That gives you access to 3 clicks of a button to be able to spin up a dashboard and connect it to your data source of choice. It could be Sheets, it could be BigQuery, it could be a variety of different sources as well. So if you have a couple of minutes in your day and if your organization uses Looker today, definitely double click on this feature. It saves me a lot of time. And I also wanted to talk to you about one more feature today, which is Gemini within Sheets, spreadsheets. Anybody who's worked in marketing and analytics and does analysis for ad campaigns knows that good old trusted VLOOKUP formula to match their click strings to impressions to clicks to cost per clicks. And what if there was a way to automate all that and, create that customized report at scale? Short answer is that can be done. Again, click on the trusted icon right here on the side. You do have a couple of prompts that are pre-listed out here, but once you have your data pre-populating in Sheets, you are able to use prompts to create formulas and summaries and even export outputs that could be used in your email with your customers. So hope you found this light demo useful. In recap, we talked about three things. We talked about Gmail. How do you read, write, and summarize emails from Gmail? How you can use Gemini in Google Slides. And lastly, how you can use Gemini within Google Sheets as well. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to Hailee.
Very nice. I love that you can connect like sheets and slides because we do keep a lot of our information organized in sheets, and just having the ability to connect them and just populate stuff makes it so much easier. Like, I think that's great. Well,
Amazing.
yeah, thanks for going over that. I know this is like an arching use case of things. So hopefully at some point we're going to do a deeper dive in and really get into how it can help your company, which is where we're going to jump into our discussion. We did get some questions that we'd like to ask you. Who in an organization should have access to this? Is it more applicable to certain roles or departments than others?
I think the ubiquitous nature of Gemini within our workspace products and suites makes it accessible and useful for everybody. Uh,
Mhm.
would be used for somebody who is, trying to build out emails at scale, and is sending out outbound messaging to a wide part of the organization. So that's use case number one. So your frontline audience who is continuously interacting with customers, so they could benefit from. Now, let's go to the next layer, right? Like, let's look at the layer wherein we have have an organization that is reporting back information and analytics, which is somewhat structured data. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's say you're a marketing agency, you run ad campaigns, and you have to do reporting every 14 days. Some of that work can be streamlined using Gemini. You can have, your spreadsheet wherein you can run analysis, give prompts outside to your own personal assistant, Gemini, to be able to create formulas and pre-built templates that are available through Looker. So you connect Sheets to Looker and you're able to pre-populate that dashboard as well, just in a matter of seconds. Now, pre-Gemini, like this task would have taken at least a few hours. Now you're able to do it in minutes. There are a whole host of options that you are able to use for different parts of the organization as well. Now, let's say, you're in the leadership team and you want to come up with ideas of how to share that ex-employee performed really well on a wide task or a wide project. All those ideas around email synthesis could be derived from Gemini as well, along with running sales enablement and activation for your learning and development team. So variety of different use cases for people who are sending emails daily. So I think the ubiquitous nature of Gemini makes it easy to use across different lines of business.
Okay, great. Another question we get a lot is surrounding like security and data protection. So I was hoping you could elaborate on that specifically. Um, can you control like who actually has access to Gemini? And if so, like what data can they have access to?
Mhm. Absolutely. So I think security is one of our core tenets at Google
Mhm.
around every AI product that is rolled out. So that being so entrenched within the organization, just making sure that every user that is leveraging Gemini is doing so in a secure manner. We do have a whole host of options that are available across the organization around security and compliance. And it's a rather detailed topic to get into just on this webinar, but we set up more time aside to double click on security as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Cause yeah, there is a lot of, I think, questions and interesting perspectives on like, what about the security? Who can access this? Where is it going? Cause a lot of companies, especially enterprise companies, ask this question a lot with their secure data. So let's go with this next question. Can Gemini learn from my specific work? So can it, as you do things, can it learn more about you and how you speak and things like that?
So I think there's definitely an element of personalization that is available in AI. Now, let's take an example and look at Gemini more holistically, right? We're talking about Gemini for Workspace today, but Gemini models are the same models that are powering the GCP ecosystem as well. You do have filters within your organization to say, hey, like, keep this data in my environment entirely and, you know, don't share it for model learning. So those options are available to any administrator who's using Gemini. Uh,
Mhm.
and we have similar functionalities available more holistically as well. Now that gives users the ability to look at, do you really want it personalized or do you want a more generic option, right? So it's complete to the use case and the organization, and we have solutions to tailor to those needs as well.
What are the top capabilities and how would save time during the day for my company? I think clients want to know, like, is it worth it? Is it beneficial? Like, how much time is this actually going to save us? As you showed us in the demo, how much time it actually does save. But can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
I'll talk about this example, where I've seen this work in real life, and it works more holistically across the two platforms in saving time and effort. Uh,
Mhm.
Take a marketing ad agency example, wherein content needs to be created, stored, archived in a structured manner. For every single campaign. And there are different versions of creative that are created for every single campaign. So, there's labeling conventions that, one follows across the organization as well, but it's not using Gemini today. So let's say, for every version one of creative that is created, a digital watermark for that company that's creating the ad needs to be added on top of that. Sure, that then gets sent to the client. The client replies back with edits. The version two looks a lot different than version one. It looks a little concept. What if you could have Gemini for GCP work with Gemini for Google Workspace and do this in a matter of seconds? So you can use Vertex AI on GCP to be able to create rule-based prompts for your teams. So every version one of a video that's created has the watermark added on top of that. And the final output is a video with a watermark. You don't have to add it manually every single time. That be a repeatable process. On the workspace side, you're the same employee who's adding that digital watermark to the video. The same employee could potentially go into their Gmail and use the prompt functionality right there, which we just shared earlier on in today's demo, to be able to create an email to the customer letting them know this is version one of your ad campaign. Let us know about your edits. We intend to launch it on X date with Y metrics. And here's a sample report template that we would be sharing on a recurring basis as well. So this is just one of the many use cases that we can talk about around
Mhm.
how Gemini can be used on the GCP side and on the workspace side to help your teams save time.
Is there a large difference between like the Gemini for Google Workspace and the Gemini for GCP?
It's the same
Mhm.
language model that is tuned differently for different needs. I would encourage everybody to think about it as a large reservoir of water. You have a complex network of pipes, which is, think of it as, pipes that are bringing water to your home.
Mhm.
State is a tap in your house, which actually gets the output of water. Now, why am I talking about all of this? Because there's a correlation. So think about that large reservoir of water as your large language model. Now, your complex network of pipes is your neural network. Think of that as, neurons that are firing in your brain, which help you understand why, a certain image looks green versus black, and how do you retain information as well. I know I'm not just doing justice to the topic of neural networks, but that's not the intention today. So I'm anchoring on the end state of this water that's flowing through these pipes or neural networks and reaching your house. Now, that water could be used for watering your garden. It could be used for cooking. It could be used for a variety of different use cases. Think of water as math equations flowing through complex machines, given point in time. That's what is the ubiquitous nature of the data that we're working with today. Um, it can be fine tuned for different needs. Now, when you're watering your garden, that use case is different. When you're using water for cooking, that use case is different. You use that for a shower, that use case is different. So it's being fine tuned through a pipe system or a neural network to reach different sections of your house where you use it, how you want to use it. So this is how ubiquitous the model is. It's trained on data. So it's only as good as the data you put in and the prompts that you prompt to extract that data. So I think the ability to do complex tasks at scale and create repeatability in your day-to-day workflow is something that existed with language models before. But I think the state that we're in right now, where a lot of it could be automated, when done right with the right model, it's truly revolutionary.
Well, I actually really like that, the neural network analogy. It's different. You don't actually think about like how the water gets to specific parts of your house, but it's a great analogy. I really like that. Ambika, can you talk about other Google products in Gemini and how they correlate?
Absolutely. So the consumer-facing product for Gemini was formerly called Bard. That's your own personal assistant that's available if you have the Google app on your mobile device. And you could just click on the quick toggle right at the top, and you have the power of Gemini that's available in your palm in seconds. How can that be used? Let's say you're planning a trip, you're going to the Caribbean, you can ask Gemini to create your packing checklist. You can ask it to create
I like that.
the weather. Yeah, you can ask it to look at weather and tell you how you should be dressing for the day as well. Where I live in Austin, we've had 4 seasons in one day in the last 2 weeks here. So
Yeah.
I'm using Gemini to decide if I'm carrying an umbrella one day or if I'm just layering up. So I think those are simple day-to-day tasks that can be automated or streamlined using Gemini. And that's available on your phones. It's available on your desktop. If you want to search on your desktop, you're looking for gemini.google.com and you get, the Gemini interface on your Chrome browser. And if you're looking on your mobile phone, just pull up your Google search app and look for this toggle. So I'm just going to show it to you right now. So right here. So this is going to be your Google search app. You see that little diamond icon right at the top. Now you're using the power of Gemini right on your mobile devices. So that's something that's available for you right now. You could also use it to organize your Google Drive. So there is a Gemini functionality that is built into your Google Drive today. So go into your Google Drive, look for that little diamond icon right on the top right of the screen. That gives you the ability to look at any content that's in your drive and give you a summary of what that is. We're all in many meetings throughout the course of a month, and it's impossible to remember the summary of every single slide deck if you want to use it for a different presentation. Another use case of that could be a marketing agency or an HR firm that has content created and sitting within their Google Drive, but wants to know which one was pulled for which campaign or which use case in terms of the organization itself. So when you're doing so, you can say, give me the deck that I created for X campaign, and it called out the top performing metrics. So you get six different slide packs that show up, right? Because you're doing this bi-weekly, you're reporting back on metrics and performance. Now, from that, you want to find out which one was the most relevant to you. So let's say, your campaign that you were shooting had Serena Williams in it. You want to say that, find me the Serena Williams campaign from these six packs. Now, probably there are 3 campaigns that had Serena Williams in them. Now, it went from 6 decks to 3 decks. From that, you want to know where she's holding a racket and hitting the ball and winning a game or a championship. So search for that specific prompt within your Google Drive. Now you've probably narrowed down into 2, and then you can go further, get more narrow, and say she was wearing a headband and so on and so forth, and add more differentiators
Mhm.
from whatever you remember or whatever you're searching for to qualify that list even further. Now you have the ability of doing that within your Google Drive just by using Gemini right there. So there is a ubiquitous nature of streamlining workflow across different Google products. And when in doubt, and within a Google product, like look for that diamond icon. That's where Gemini functionalities are within your apps or desktop.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the drive. Like, because I have so much in my drive, like everything's categorized and in folders, but I feel like having that quick action to like, hey, find this for me is going to be super helpful. It's funny, we've gone through all these things today and every use case, I'm like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. And I feel like every person in department and within our company can somehow use Gemini to help like be more time efficient, work more efficiently within their job. I love that it really applies to everybody.
Absolutely. And I think this is bringing the power of AI and scale to every single consumer out there. So if you are watching this video right now, spend 2 minutes of clicking on that diamond icon to see what it can do for you. And bring your questions back. We are, bring your feature requests, and we're happy to take those on.
If anyone has any questions, please reach out to your client success manager about Gemini or do sales support at promevo.com. We are really excited to share Gemini with you guys. Ambika, thank you for joining us today. This has been fantastic.
Thanks, Haley. Thanks, everybody.